days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and the hail sale has been a huge success, but is winding down. We still though have several units with huge discounts. Plus, we have brand new Sierras, $14,000 off list, or starting at $37,105, or 0.9% APR on select new models. Yes, you heard right. $14,000 off or 0.9% APR on new Sierras starting at $37,105. So please check us out at coppellcars.com. All deals with roof credit, stock number G289358.
Is it time to replace your home comfort system? Call Bryant and save money in every way. Bryant provides you with solutions that save. Save big immediately with attractive rebates, and save every day with lower operating costs. Most important, though, the systems are selected to fit you. The right system, priced right, properly installed. That's the way Bryant works for you. How much can you save? Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing for a free estimate. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Hi, I'm Asher on summer break and about to start second grade. Thanks to awesome people like you who picked Aloe Fiber. They donated $193,000 to schools like mine. This summer, I'm using my fast internet to keep learning, and I can't wait to tell my teacher everything I discovered. So if you're a grown-up picking internet, choose Aloe, because Aloe chooses us, our schools, our town, and our future. Go to aloefiber.com to learn more.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Don't wait for Lincoln's fireworks stands to open up. Get the good stuff at Roca Crazy Cracker in downtown Roca. Stop in from June 25th through July 4th for the hot spot for rockets and more this Independence Day. Open 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. It's Roca Crazy Cracker Fireworks in downtown Roca.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly sunny, breezy, and hot with a high near 93. Tonight, showers and storms likely with a low near 72. And tomorrow, a continued chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly sunny with a light breeze and a high near 89. And meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block with Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet Eric Strickland. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
That it is. Welcome in a Wednesday edition of the show. I almost got caught saying Tuesday. It's a Wednesday. It's a wonderful Wednesday here at the Ticket. Pop down, get you an iced coffee from the mill. It's hot outside. It's a little blustery. But we're here at 1040 O Street talking sports live. Austin Norman and, of course, Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NBA vet, Eastreezy. Eastrick.
There it is.
What's good, partner?
There it is. Once again, we're here on a could you say it's a wild Wednesday? It's some stuff happening out there.
Is it going to be a wild night in the NBA draft? That's the question.
That's the question. We're gonna see how things pan out and are pushed out, and who's gonna make decisions. We already know that probably one's locked and stocked, and I'm pretty sure that Dallas isn't doing anything different. But then you get behind them, and there's some potential movements. More trades have been made. Mm-hmm. We're seeing some unloading We see over 100 million unloaded right now at this point for the Boston Celtics with Kristaps now going.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you look at their tax bill, it's 260 mil.
Yeah.
Offloaded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So that's I still don't think they're done. I think you could even see White. You could see Brown.
Mm-hmm.
There's still some circling and some potential decisions there. They got the best out of it. At this point, what direction do you want to go? You obviously know that Tatum is your mainstay, but is Tatum and Brown, the part of the continued recipe?
Mm-hmm.
So I think at this point, I think a lot of people are really looking at OKC, and they're trying to figure out how to acquire assets.
Yeah.
Because you've got to.
Well, the thing is, it's not going to be an overnight thing.
No,
OKC didn't do it overnight. They kept making the right decisions for years.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You really do have to. You have to have pliability in this new era of NBA basketball because you have to be able to navigate. It's looking a lot like NFL style to me, just in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
It's looking like you really do have to assess in your drafting, in your G League, in who you bring up, the timing of that. I've got to say, at this point, you need good veterans, but good veterans with high salaries are going to be something that's going to be weighed out in the future.
Are good veterans easy to find?
I think, good veterans are there, but I think fit is what minimizes the opportunities for certain veterans at this point, because I think you could be priced out. Obviously, I think Kyrie Irving he's opted out of his 43 mil and got a new deal.
Mm-hmm.
At 119, Tim Freeman. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So, there's those type of decisions that have to be, those type of decisions will wait. That's similar. That's why I say it's kind of like football model, because it's very similar to what do they call it? Renegotiate or renegotiating. So quarterbacks sometimes will go back in and renegotiate.
Yeah.
Will help out. We've seen them do that. So contracts, yes, they're guaranteed, but
and we'll get into guaranteed contracts in hour 2 of the show.
Yeah,
that's kind of wild coming out of NFL land. We'll certainly talk more about the Celtics and what is on tap for them. But starting us off here, Stricky, let's hit the NBA draft really quick. We've had some conversations, not all of them. Is there even a 1% chance that Dallas doesn't take my boy Coop?
I don't think so. At this point, look, Dallas has to walk. I want to say they're on thin ice, but I still think it's solid, but it's slippery.
Okay.
Right? So ice, there's options. There's things that can happen with ice. You can either fall through it because it's thin, or you can slip on it because it's slick. I think they're on slick ice.
Okay.
Black ice, so to speak, is what they call, which is, you can't see
the deadly
it,
stuff.
But it's there. And it's there because, Austin, what the decision that you made, if they don't pull the trigger on that, it's nobody. There's really nothing that you can do. You win the number one, who is a potential you gave up one. That's a way for you to regain fanfare again, by pulling the trigger on that, right? Because there's really nothing you could do at this point,
right?
Otherwise, to me.
I just still envision a world where Dallas takes Ace Bailey number 1, just because it'd be hilarious. It's not going to happen. San Antonio would have that Cooper Flag card up there like that. Yeah. But San Antonio is another intriguing team. We've talked a little bit about them, Strick. The Spurs have come up as potential suitors for Giannis to pair with Wemby and with Kevin Durant, who ultimately ends up in a different city in Texas, down in Houston. I'm really intrigued with what San Antonio does. Will they use both of their picks? They got number 2 and number 14. Will they use one of those picks? Will they trade back to try to get more assets? I'm really intrigued by San Antonio to see if they can pull off the Oklahoma City model. Right now, they got one guy. They need to find another one alongside Victor Wembanyama. But all of a sudden, Strick, after some trades, there's a team with 5 first-round picks tonight. Tonight, not just in the future, but the Brooklyn Nets currently hold 5 picks in the first round. How many of those do you think they actually use?
To me, I still think it's trade bait. You just can't add that many. How many? Who? Brooklyn, right?
Brooklyn. Mm-hmm.
Like
5
they will probably use 2, push back on the third, get late in the first round, so that so monetarily they're not. It's not a super expense to them because they've got to figure they're not going to keep them. So you might go late for a guy that can shore up some areas, maybe off of your bench, maybe take a flyer on, see if you can raise his bar a little bit. And you're probably using that position as a tradable asset, somebody that maybe fell or was overlooked or best available. And then you hold them and bring them into camp and let somebody bid on them. So you keep your assets, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you're going to get more assets for that. See, I'm telling you, I think Brooklyn saw the writing on the wall, man. I think they're saying, well, shoot, we've got to try to figure out, how to use this. And you can't take all of them in the first, but they'll probably trade. I think they'll probably trade 2 of them, trade back into the second round, get something for it for the future.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, they're not going to use all 5.
Brooklyn is on tap with 1 second rounder right now. That's at the number 36 position, so the 6th pick there in the second round. Don't forget, it's only 59 picks in the NBA draft because the Knicks forfeited their second rounder for messing around in free agency with Jalen Brunson during the tampering period, not the legal tampering period, but they got docked a second round pick for it. Another really intriguing prospect, Strick, is Ace Bailey, guy out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Obviously spent 1 year at Rutgers alongside Dylan Harper, the presumptive number 2 overall pick. He has not worked out for teams in the 3, 4, 5 range. That's Philly, Charlotte, and Utah. Do you think that maybe part of Washington's move to get Jordan Poole out of town was to let Ace Bailey come in, surrounded by veteran leadership in CJ McCollum and Chris Middleton? Do you think that that's where Ace Bailey is eyeing?
Listen, I personally think when I look at his tape, it's not a matter of what he can do on the court, because I like the comparison that a lot of people are throwing at him, old school Tracy McGrady.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I think that's a good, comparable for him. To me, it's the mental and it's the off court. Like, are you going to get a prima donna? Like, this is why you want to really have a lot of these discussions, his workout, see what he's been doing with himself and his body. Is he willing, to put in the work, the time, the effort? Has he done any? Like right now, he's so relying on just that part of him, which is being super, super gifted in a lot of different ways. I just worry about the mental and the off court stuff. Right. So like, if things don't go right, like if he has a bad workout, what does it look like? Like, can he recoup from that? Is he going to listen to what people are saying? Right. Like right now, like that's what I actually like from what I'm hearing out of, Shador's camp. Like he could have easily taken that and went in with some form of negative attitude, but he used it as fodder. Like, is Ace Bailey built like that? Because you've been coddled all your career. Everybody's looked at you. You've been a top 5 player throughout your career. Every time you walk into an AAU gym, everybody is, oh, Ace. You know what I mean? Because then you got to look at also the reason why he chose Rutgers. Why? I think a lot of it had to do with, we're going to let you play AAU style. And that's not going to fit.
Which is really weird from Steve Peichel, who's never had that reputation.
Yeah, but you can tell by the way that they played, right? It
Mm-hmm.
was super free for all, right?
Mhm.
He was just happy to be able to put that on the resume of having those type of players. The records never reflected it. The records
No.
never reflected it.
Mm-mm.
You know, have some good games and lackluster games.
Mhm.
So I think he would have done himself a better service if he would have went to a prolific type of school where he could have learned some things and some discipline. Because yes, the NBA is very open and the style of play is very open and you know, free flowing type. But if Ace was to go to San Antonio, they're not going to be asking for you to do that, my guy.
No.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I like your game, but you're not.
I don't love
Allen
your game. I
Iverson,
like your game.
right?
I don't love your game.
Now there are some teams that will let you do that, and probably Washington's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why you're probably you threw that out there. The way that they let Jordan Poole do some of the things that he did.
And to Jordan Poole's credit, he did mature.
He got better, right?
He got better.
Right. But they still let him. It was some wild stuff that was going on early on, you know, in his
Yeah.
time there. Some of the shots he was taking and things you kind of what? But you know, there are some places I think if he gets around some good leadership, I think if he went to like a Golden State or, you know, where Steph would hone that stuff in, you know, I think he would respect. I think he needs to go to some place where, like you said, a veteran presence, where there's some respect, somebody who's won championship before would help him tremendously. Like if he went to Atlanta, I don't think that would be good. I like Jamal as a coach down at Orlando. I think that would be a good place for him. I think even the discipline of Miami, you know, overall would be a good place. You know, places like that. But I think his style would fit in Indiana, but he's not going to get to them.
Right. He's not.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And they're not going to trade up to get him.
No. So where does he go? I don't think he gets out of the top 10. I think his numbers, but it sounds to me that some teams that are higher up liked Edgecombe with his workout and the workout that he put in. Also
my boy Knipple,
the conversations.
Hey,
yeah.
too.
I mean, because it's more than just what you do on the court. I'm telling you, it's not just what you can do on the court these days.
And I do have some concerns about Ace Bailey on the court. Did not get to the rim very much in the half court. Settled for a lot of tough jumpers. That's only
which he made a whole bunch of them.
He did.
But his shots, without being challenged, his numbers were trash.
Not that great.
Go ahead.
Also, pretty low assist rate for a guy that had the ball in his hands a lot. Not saying he's incapable of making the right play or the right pass. He just loves him a contested jumper. And to your point, he made a fair share of them. Only going to get tougher in the NBA. The intel on Ace Bailey has been that he's immature. But when they say immature, they don't mean, oh, he's reckless, oh, he's stupid. They just mean, oh, he's young. So I would rather they say, oh, he's young. He's just a kid, right? He needs some seasoning. He needs to grow up more so than he needs to mature. Because to me, when I hear immature, I think he's behind the curve. He's going to be a problem. He's going to be a headache. Ace Bailey, by all accounts, is a good kid. All the coaches that have coached him said, no, he's a joy to be around. He works really hard. He just loves the game of basketball. He's just young, kind of goofy. And, okay, that's fine. Good. Having enthusiasm for the game of basketball is great. But you're going to have to grow up quick in the NBA. I mean, I'm sure you saw that many times, guys that come in, maybe not bad kids, but just young. You got to grow up quick in the NBA.
Yeah. The question then I would throw to you, Austin, is this, and to those who are listening. When I watch him interview, he's going to need some PR people around him. He really needs coaching in that area. Because my question then becomes, do you think he's a cerebral player?
I don't think he's a stupid player. I think, to your point, he's been allowed to coast off buckets. I think the year at Rutgers could have been really good for him because I think Steve Pikiell, in his reputation of demanding intensity on defense, that's how his teams were built. I'm not so sure Steve Pikiell held that same standard this year, just looking at how Rutgers played. So I think it was a missed opportunity for his growth as a basketball player and the growth of Rutgers as a basketball program. not getting more or maybe demanding more out of Ace Bailey. So I don't think he's stupid, but I don't think he fully understands the game at the level he'll need to.
Yeah, and let's backtrack. Let's go back to the Brooklyn situation. If I'm Brooklyn, I pretty much look at my team and know I don't have a one.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of young talent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping to do a deal with somebody with all of these picks I got that has a high potential swap that can put me in a potential position to land AJ DeBanza next year.
Interesting. Okay.
Like for real. Like
Well,
I'm looking.
See, that didn't work out for Brooklyn because they tanked this year.
Yeah.
For Cooper, and they dropped to number 8 right now. So
great.
they tried it. So they kind of have to wait to see where the chips fall in the new NBA system.
Well, that's why I'm saying you would throw one if you didn't have a great season. I don't think they're going to be very good.
I agree.
Right. So that's going to throw one in the back bucket for you. So I'm adding what's the word I'm looking for? Something where you have an option if all things a contingency plan.
Yes, there we go.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at a contingency plan, hence some type of move with this pick. You want to get up in a little bit higher range, but you're not very good right now. And this person, because if you look, I think outside the top 5, I don't think there's a game changer above 5.
No, I'm with you.
I'm thinking maybe 4 at best. Right? And I don't think there's probably but maybe 3 potential game changers, right? So I think they're good players. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But
useful, but not
so you're going to pay the price to get up here with the hopes of landing a better option than where you are. But I'm betting, I have to pay a contingency plan bet that you're not going to be very good in, and I probably would look west because I would try to find one of those teams that they just not gonna make it, and hopefully that gives me 2 in the bowl to land on a swap situation, and it can't be what is it Austin, where they can't the swap is not contingent on a
it's unprotected.
Yes.
Unprotected.
Yes. It has, like, if we're going to do this deal, it's got to be an unprotected swap. So that gives me two options in that bowl.
And see, I think Brooklyn is in a unique position where they can walk both lines. Where I think if Brooklyn really wanted Ace Bailey, if they're not sure they're going to get DeBanza, they could, dare I say, trade with Philly, give Philly number 8 and one of their back half the first round picks to move up to number 3, because Philly's in win now mode. Yeah. They were decimated by injuries. They don't need a project sort of rookie.
Yeah.
They need a high floor role player to complement their cast. I think Philly could see really good value in that, right? To get a couple picks back for Brooklyn to go take a flyer on Ace Bailey. But then if you're Brooklyn, you still have enough in the tank that you can swing something for DeBanza next year, especially if you trade Cam Johnson, which you haven't done yet. He's going to bring something back. If you're that bad again, you got to probably let Cam Johnson go. You'll get something back for him. Because again, that's a useful guy to a lot of NBA teams, but not that number 1.
I'm for real. If I'm Brooklyn, I'm hunting for DeBanza.
Sure.
Like no cap. Like I'm trying.
Guy.
I'm trying everything I can to put myself in a position with contingencies as well to try to land him. If I really want to make a shot at it, you're going to need that type of game-changing potential player.
So if we had capture the flag or sag for flag this year, is it get pantsed for DeBanza next year? But what are we calling the race to tank for AJ DeBanza?
Oh man, that's a good one. You know the best ones that can do something like that is the ticket listeners. Are the blockheads are always the ones. Give us you guys give us what are we trying to get? A name?
Yeah, what are we calling the competition to tank for AJ DeBanza?
Yeah, give us a name for that. What was it for Cooper?
Sag for flag or capture the flag.
There you go.
In the pooper for Cooper.
There you go. Give us. That's a good one.
There's a lot of them.
Give us a name. We would love to. Matter of fact, whoever gives the best name, I'm going to give you a WTF shirt.
Hello.
There you go.
We're going to give you a break from this conversation. Strick, you brought it up. Boston's making moves. They're not done yet. There's a lot circulating out there with the Celtics. What could be on tap for Boston? We'll keep talking about what the Celtics are pondering and more as we continue on the block. As always, brought to you by The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orban, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
Play ball!
Ready for summer fun and ballpark vibes? Bring your pack to Haymarket Park for a thrilling season of Lincoln Salt Dogs baseball and unleash the fun. From May through August, the Lincoln Salt Dogs will be playing and the park will be popping with all the food, drinks, and fun you need for the perfect night out. Grab your friends, family, and coworkers and make plans now. Visit saltdogs.com to secure your tickets. Come on out to the park and unleash the fun.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and the hail sale has been a huge success, but is winding down. We still though have several units with huge discounts. Plus, we have brand new Sierras, $14,000 off list, or starting at $37,105, or 0.9% APR on select new models. Yes, you heard right. $14,000 off or 0.9% APR on new Sierras starting at $37,105. So please check us out at cobblecars.com. All deals with roof credit, stock number G289358.
Don't wait for Lincoln's fireworks stands to open up. Get the good stuff at Roca Crazy Cracker in downtown Roca. Stop in from June 25th through July 4th for the hot spot for rockets and more this Independence Day. Open 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. It's Roca Crazy Cracker Fireworks in downtown Roca.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Talking more NBA, talking more hoops through the end of hour one. We'll get to some NFL and football news in hour two of the show. Austin Orman, Eric Strickland with you here. Big thanks to the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese for their sponsorship of the show. We've spent a lot of time talking about Boston Strick. They made another move. Kristaps Porzingis gets shipped off to Atlanta. Atlanta maybe looks a little frisky there in the East potentially, but there's got to be more to come for Boston. They're under the second apron, still above the first one. Two more names that have been floated out there. Let's start with Jaylen Brown. There have been some talks between the Celtics and the Jazz. Now, the connection there, of course, is Austin Ainge is the new kind of head decision maker for them, relative, of course, to Danny Ainge, former Celtics player, former Celtics executive, before moving out to Salt Lake City and the Utah Jazz. When you look at what the Jazz would have to give up to get Jaylen Brown, do you think that's something Boston would want? And would you like that move for Utah to go get Jaylen Brown?
I mean, they've already shed $180 million, which we've talked about. When I look at the potential to go there, again, with the way that things are set now, getting under the apron helped them
big time.
So that was smart, because now when you're dealing with them, it's not a situation where you've got to give and you can't take back more type stuff. So
Right.
you've eliminated that factor, which is good. So what you got to look at, Boston's got to be looking at either, if they're taking something back, it's got to be short contract. So are you looking at their roster right now?
I can get Boston's. I got Utah's up.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I got Utah's roster.
So when you're going up and down Utah's roster, Austin, what do you see? Like, no, Utah's not giving up Markkanen.
No,
I don't believe that's going to happen.
Probably not giving up Kessler.
Probably not giving up Kessler. They're really trying to build, and I think they like those guys, right? So who else on that roster? There's no one, I don't think, salary matching that's going to
Not
fit.
that big. I mean, Jaylen Brown has the biggest salary in the NBA, so
Right.
you're not matching.
Well, actually, Tatum now. He took him over.
That's right. That's
he
right.
took
He
him over.
passed him. That's right.
So, but like a few $100,000, it's not a lot.
Yeah.
It's dang near like 53 and 54-1 or 53-5 or something like that.
Right.
Or, it ain't much over. But again, who on that Utah team? Did you got their salaries pulled up?
I can get the salaries. I
Pull
have
the
the names
salaries.
right now.
Pull the salaries. Yeah.
I like Spotrac, by the way, so shout out to Spotrac for this. When we look at what the Jazz have allocated, their highest earner, of course, Larry Markkanen, making $42 million. John Collins.
See, that's
intriguing.
That's intriguing.
26.5.
26.5. How many years left?
He has, don't know why it's not showing me that. Let me click on John Collins. He has next year before he's a free agent. So that's an expiring.
That's one.
It's an expiring.
So that's one that they would look. And to get Jaylen Brown, you would definitely toss him in that.
Yes.
Right?
I
And
agree.
Boston would probably be open to that, being that on the last year of his deal, he's got player option?
No. This year is his player option. So
Okay,
he'll have to opt in, but why wouldn't he?
Right? So they can either say, hey, peace out, eat it, or keep him. I mean, I think he's all
fine.
right.
He's solid.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. And it's not a salary that's going to kill you.
Mhm.
Now, do they have tradable asset, meaning like draft picks and
I don't know. I would also be interested in Colin Sexton if I was Boston. He's been pretty solid, and now they're expiring. They got him in a sign and trade from Cleveland. He's making 18.9.
There you go.
This year.
There,
on an
those
expiring.
two, and maybe definitely they're gonna ask for a first rounder.
Oh yeah.
Maybe future one, but they're gonna ask for it. So you're gonna probably get either 2 first rounders in the future, or you're going to get a first round with multiple second rounders to get Brown
So
with those guys.
Next year, Utah only has 1 pick. Minnesota, they got it from Minnesota or Cleveland with swap rights, but San Antonio will get the more favorable of the Utah or the Atlanta first round picks.
San Antonio's in a good position, bro.
They sure are.
They really are. They're in a really good position for their build. Potential new dynasty could be building there with what they're trying to put there, especially depending on what they do tonight. That keep an eye on San Antonio for tonight. What type of moves that they make, if they even make a move. But yeah, so that San Antonio landing there at that second position put them in great position. Because even if they trade back to them, they don't necessarily need a superstar. But I think they like Castle.
It's kind of the 2 stars era
right
now.
Yeah. But they already have who's their point guard?
Well, point guard.
Right? So you probably, I think if you've got him, I think you go get Harper.
I think so. Oh, Fox, right? Yeah.
You got Fox, right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying watch them. That's why I was like, dang, I think De'Aaron's there still.
Yeah.
So if they don't move De'Aaron Fox, I think you want to keep Chris Paul there to mentor if you decide to take him, if you take Harper. If not, you could trade back
easily.
Even because you're set at the point guard position. If you don't feel that Harper could really fit the mold of your team build, I think he's a solid player that could do that. But you definitely want that leadership from Chris Paul. But to have 3 point guards on the roster, you still got Stephon Castle,
who isn't a true point, to be fair. That's where they want him to learn and grow.
Yeah.
But as of now, he's probably more of a 2.
Yeah.
Ideally.
Yeah. But
I don't know.
Yeah, but keep an eye on it because they're going to tell you a lot. It's going to happen very quickly, because if they pull the trigger on it, you got to be careful of what a move may happen, or they may just go ahead and run with the area and see if and then maybe at trade deadline, somebody's going to take De'Aaron Fox. He's top prime at his position right now, but a solid team would take him.
I'm glad you bring up San Antonio, Strick, with the other guy that Boston has been interested potentially in trading because of the salary, Derek White.
Yeah.
San Antonio's got room. They've got number 2. They've got number 14. Toronto was rumored for Derek White as being one of his main suitors, which I think would make sense. That's a very wing-heavy team that needs a supporting guy like that. Could you see San Antonio using some of its assets to bring Derek White back home?
To San Antonio?
To San Antonio, where he started his career. I like the idea of that. I really do. If he's playing 2, Fox, White, Vassell.
I do like that.
Someone in
I
Wemby.
do like that lineup. But here's the thing. You're going to have to send somebody out, and they're probably going to want Vassell.
Probably.
They'll probably want Vassell.
Can you talk him into Castle?
Probably, because he's only on the first year of his rookie deal. That's an interesting thing for them, but monetarily, I don't think it's close. So they would have to do probably that, or get a second team, or that plus draft assets to make that one happen. Because San Antonio is very efficient as far as not hitting these crazy tiers, so they're not at risk of that. Is my understanding at this point.
Right. So Derek White, trying to,
I think it's 28 million or something.
Correct. 28-1 for him is the cap hit in 25-26. When you look what's on the table for the Spurs right now, Vassell's almost a 1-to-1 match at 27.
There you go.
That's really close.
There you go.
You could piece together. So Harrison Barnes is 19 and Stephon Castle is making 9.5. That's really close.
And Harrison Barnes on the last year, I think, of his.
I believe so.
So yeah, so those are 2 options. I mean, they've got deals they could throw.
It will be the final year of that deal for Harrison Barnes before he hits free agency.
And he's a shooter, and they like to shoot.
Leader, veteran, wing,
champion, and that's what Boston likes to do. They play the numbers. So having Harrison Barnes out there that can, straight shoot it, that's something that they would take.
Yeah, San Antonio's cap is clean.
Clean. It's always been.
Clean.
Even when they had the big three, it was still clean.
Mm-hmm.
They're a very efficiently run organization and always have been.
They got 49 mil in space right now.
Yeah.
49 mil.
Yeah.
They can do anything.
They can do anything. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I like their organization a lot. So.
I think that Houston's making some good moves as well.
No doubt.
Dallas did. Let's talk about those two deals. Kyrie Irving restructures, and so does Fred VanVleet. What does that mean for Houston and for Dallas? We'll wrap up hour one of On the Block with that.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
I want to ride. Do you want to ride? June is officially riding month at Rod's Power Sports, Nebraska's largest volume Honda Power Sports dealership. Come in now and take advantage of huge savings and a great inventory selection during Rod's I Want to Ride celebration days all month long. Simply schedule a qualified demo ride on one of their new Honda motorcycles, ATVs, scooters, or side-by-sides, or purchase a new or used vehicle, and you get a free custom I Want to Ride t-shirt. Plus, all month long, they have 10% discounts on all wearables, parts, accessories, and oil change kits when purchased with a new or used Honda. Free refreshments served each Saturday morning in June. Just show up and say, I want to ride, and they'll fix you up with some free stuff and help you pick out that new ride. Come ride with Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln or online at rodspowersports.com. For your safety, read the owner's manual and always wear a helmet and eye protection. Honda Power Sports vehicles are for riders 16 years and older. Honda recommends that all ATV riders take a training course.
Play ball! Ready for summer fun and ballpark vibes? Bring your pack to Haymarket Park for a thrilling season of Lincoln Salt Dogs baseball and unleash the fun. From May through August, the Lincoln Salt Dogs will be playing and the park will be popping with all the food, drinks, and fun you need for the perfect night out. Grab your friends, family, and coworkers and make plans now. Visit saltdogs.com to secure your tickets. Come on out to the park and unleash the fun.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly sunny, breezy, and hot with a high near 93. Tonight, showers and storms likely with a low near 72. And tomorrow, a continued chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly sunny with a light breeze and a high near 89. And meteorologist Kyle Electric for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Don't wait for Lincoln's fireworks stands to open up. Get the good stuff at Roca Crazy Cracker in downtown Roca. Stop in from June 25th through July 4th for the hot spot for rockets and more this Independence Day. Open 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. It's Roca Crazy Cracker Fireworks in downtown Roca.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Wrapping up hour one of On the Block, Austin and Strick with you for another 10 minutes or so in hour one, then a full hour two focused on some football. Lots going on in the state of Texas as we tease going into the break, Strick. We'll start down in Dallas. Kyrie Irving out for the foreseeable future, might make a return toward the end of the year after suffering his torn ACL. He re-signs with Dallas, kind of opts out of his deal, and then re-signs with the Mavericks on a more team-friendly contract. What does that say about Kyrie? What does that do for Dallas?
It helps. It helps them to. I think Kyrie has come to an understanding of, what needs to be done. How can you acquire in the new landscape of what this CBL looks like? Mm-hmm. This was the question I had for the Lakers. What's LeBron going to do now? Again, now getting a new owner, I can tell you for sure that if the old ownership group was there, without him, if he opts in, they're done. Mm-hmm. I think the new ownership group is willing to hit tiers and don't care. So I think he can probably have a little bit more freedom to feel as if, I can take my deal and, be okay. Mm-hmm. But I think if he did, and if he really wanted a championship run, you restructure yourself, opt out, restructure for another couple years at a lower amount and go for it. I just don't believe that he would do it. That's my thought on it.
In Houston, Fred VanVleet renegotiates with Houston, essentially. His new deal with them is 2 years and $50 million, not $50 million a year. Fred VanVleet took a $20 million pay cut over the next 2 years for Houston, who obviously trades for Kevin Durant. But, Strick, here's the key to this. Houston now has access to the full non-taxpayer MIDI, $14 million. Talk about how important that is for the Rockets.
That's what I was trying to say with regards to the Lakers.
Or Lakers, Mm-hmm.
I think that would be more beneficial. It's easier to get a big man at that number than it is at that $5 million number. You're going to get a guy that's really not going to be impactful. Mm-hmm. And that's crazy to think about that at our time compared to what it is now. That would have been a great mid-level exception right back then. But yeah, that helps them to hit that number. And I think it's good to have players on your team like Kyrie and like Fred that understand that dynamic of what the CBL is. How can we, like you look at your roster, you look at what you have, what you're not able, what you weren't able to accomplish and what you're able. Okay, we've addressed that. Thank you, team. That means you're serious about really trying to put us in a position to elevate ourselves within the Western Conference. And so then if you're Fred VanVleet, you've won a championship. Look, you're in Houston, so your money goes longer.
Right.
You want to, you see the team making that effort and you have an opportunity to step up and do the same. It goes a long way. Now, that in essence too, I think having those discussions, sitting down with management, ownership, and deciding to do that, I think it sets them up for a long-term play. See, you can't, if you just think in the microcosm of the money now, you lose sight of what's long-term. By Fred doing something like that, it can put him in position for working with the organization afterwards, being a coach, an assistant, staying in Houston long-term. You know what I mean? Like he's looking, I promise you, he's looking at that money compared to where he was in Toronto.
Woo! Different.
I'm telling you. It's a huge difference from what he. So he's thinking veteran long term. He's thinking Udonis Haslem mindset.
Just keep getting those contracts.
Just keep getting them long term. I'm a team player. I love it here. I want to be a part of this team. I'm a leader. You know what I'm saying? It speaks to all of that, and I think it goes a long way when management and ownership's looking down at the end of the day.
You did bring up the Lakers as well. Sources are reporting to Anthony Irwin, who's a Lakers insider out there in LA, that the Lakers and Heat have continued their trade talks, reporting that the Lakers checked in on Andrew Wiggins. Negotiations have advanced from there. Anthony Irwin says a deal isn't imminent, but there's been plenty of conversation on that front. Without knowing the numbers off the top of my head, Strick, I think I like Andrew Wiggins for LA. I don't know if I love him for LA. How would you react to Andrew Wiggins becoming a member of the Los Angeles Lakers?
So for me, it's questionable because you don't know which version of Andrew Wiggins you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to get the old Minnesota Andrew Wiggins or the 1 year Golden State Andrew Wiggins that without the way that he played in that series or through that championship run, they don't win both defensively and offensively. You don't know. So it's risky. But let's just talk about let's just move that to the side as far as the Andrew Wiggins, which version of him. Let's talk more about just on the floor. On the floor, I don't think he's a consistent enough shooter, and that's one of the issues that the Lakers had problems with, is having guys surrounded by LeBron and both Luka that absolutely, undoubtedly can stroke. Pause. That's the issue. I think Wiggins is streaky. I think he's a mid-range guy. I think he's capable three-point shooter, but that type of reliance on that, like he's not like Reeves.
It's been a while.
Austin Rivers. Reeves. He's not like that. Reeves, at this point in his career, I think he's a straight line guy. I think he's an open
Andrew
court
Wiggins
guy.
hit 37% from three last year in 60 games, and for his career is 35.6.
Yeah.
That's good, not great.
Good,
but
but they want somebody in that probably 40
39, 40, 41.
Yeah. And they, like you said, it's not bad, but you don't want to rely on 35.
Well, and it's gotten better. So, I mean, he came into the league shooting 31, 30, 35, 6,
But that's because of
33,
the types
34.
of jumpers he was shooting.
Right. 33 in Minnesota. He gets traded to Golden State. The rest of that year, he shoots 34% from three. Then it's been 38, 39, almost 40%, but that was the year he only played 37 games. Dips down to 36, 37, and then last year officially 37 as well. So he has
he's
made
close.
legitimate improvement.
That's what I'm saying. I think,
right.
Yeah, I'm not knocking that. I think he's solid. He's capable. That's why I said he's capable. But are you going to rely on that? That's why I say you don't know which version. You don't know if you're going to get that early version or you're going to get that Golden State later version or even where he is now. So that's the part that you're betting on.
Contract wise, too, I got the numbers pulled up. $28 million this year for Andrew Wiggins, $30 million on a player option next year.
That's a lot of money.
Agency. It is.
But that's if they're going to have to move Hachimura or they're going to have to move Reeves.
I'm glad you bring those names up, Stricky. If you combine Rui Hachimura and Maxi Kleber, there's your $29 million.
And they definitely
Rui and Gabe Vincent, former Miami Heat guy.
Yeah. And Miami doesn't really have a PG like that. So getting and let me tell you this. I look at Gabe Vincent's body language. He don't like it.
No.
He's not happy in LA.
No. Don't forget the ones that made you. I think it'd be really good for Gabe Vincent to go back to Miami. So
yeah.
Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll head to the top of the 4 o'clock hour. We'll talk some football. Collusion in the NFL. Basically proven by a judge in court. And the NFL tried to bury that. What went on? What does it mean for the NFL? Who was the domino that started it? What comes next? All that and more in hour 2 of On the Block.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Play ball!
Ready for summer fun and ballpark vibes? Bring your pack to Haymarket Park for a thrilling season of Lincoln Salt Dogs baseball and unleash the fun. From May through August, the Lincoln Salt Dogs will be playing and the park will be popping with all the food, drinks, and fun you need for the perfect night out. Grab your friends, family, and coworkers and make plans now. Visit saltdogs.com to secure your tickets. Come on out to the park and unleash the fun.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and the hail sale has been a huge success, but is winding down. We still though have several units with huge discounts. Plus, we have brand new Sierras, $14,000 off list, or starting at $37,105, or 0.9% APR on select new models. Yes, you heard right. $14,000 off or 0.9% APR on new Sierras starting at $37,105. So please check us out at cobblecars.com. All deals with roof credit, stock number G289358.
Don't wait for Lincoln's fireworks stands to open up. Get the good stuff at Roca Crazy Cracker in downtown Roca. Stop in from June 25th through July 4th for the hot spot for rockets and more this Independence Day. Open 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. It's Roca Crazy Cracker Fireworks in downtown Roca.
I tried to hide my cigarette smoking. Then I was rushed into emergency surgery to repair the damage smoking did to my heart. It shocked everyone because they thought I was healthy. Yet because I smoked, I had a severe heart condition that nearly killed me. My tip is, you may be able to hide your smoking from the world, but you can't hide from the damage smoking does to your body.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
At Cordell & Cordell, we focus on representing men in domestic relations cases.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
We recognize that our clients are going through perhaps the toughest time they will ever go through. We understand that everything that's important to them is on the table. Their assets, the role in their children's lives. That's an immense responsibility that our clients entrust us with, and we take that very seriously. We've been trained to do that. We've helped thousands of clients before, and it's our hope that you'll choose to entrust us with what's most important to you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 402-858-3220. That's 402-858-3220. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln, 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508.
This is On the Block with Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer, Jay Foreman. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Well, welcome in hour 2 of On the Block, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Austin Orman and Eric Strickland with you here for another hour today. We got 2 hours on Thursday, and then, of course, 2 hours on Friday.
What is Thursday?
Thursday.
Uncle
Thursday.
Kevy. Yeah, I got to see Uncle Kevy. I need a strict pick.
And then Friday is free swinging Friday. BP with DP.
Yeah, BP with DP. We'll be down there.
You swinging?
I don't know, man. That you know, after that golf round, that got a little back tight. I went to the gym today to stretch. And
you at least shagging?
Yeah, I probably might go out there and shag some and, you know, shake hands and talk some smack. I definitely would need batting gloves if I'm going to swing anything at this point because it tore my hands up last time.
Okay, it tore my hands up the first time, but I had to step out between every swing and dry my hands.
Yeah.
It's been muggy.
Super
when
muggy.
We've been out there.
Yeah.
Which
it's going to be hot tomorrow.
Which, to be
it
honest,
might rain tomorrow.
That's why I think I wasn't able to get the ball out of the yard.
Yeah.
I think the humidity depressed it.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
That's just me.
And I think one of the times the wind was blowing in on one of ours.
In from right.
Yeah.
But then the next time it was out to left, which you said you liked.
That's if I'm with the machine because I knew I was going to have to go oppo.
Right.
I was okay with that because there's just no way your timing just is so much different with the machine than it is with, you know, watching it off the fingers.
Well, because so much of timing is visual.
Yeah.
It's visual cues.
Yeah.
That you operate off. And when the ball disappears into the machine, you don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough.
Yeah. Yeah. I got some good strokes, hit some good balls, some good lines, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see how I feel.
Starter Heyman Jewelers text line 402-464-5685. Eric says excuses are like what, Austin? Eric, I didn't get close to hitting it out of the ballpark. I was being facetious, right? I didn't come close. I got some out of the infield, right? I hit a couple solid line drives. I was nowhere near home run power with a wood bat. So I said that completely tongue in cheek. What's not tongue in cheek, Strick, what isn't a joke, is that the NFL got sued for collusion. And it sounds like the NFL lost. It has been proven in court, ruled by a judge, that there was some level of collusion among NFL general managers, owners, and even potentially Roger Goodell being named in this lawsuit, all stemming from the Deshaun Watson contract with the Cleveland Browns. That's crazy that we're here talking about the NFL legitimately colluding. You can guess, you can say, okay, that's a little fishy, but a judge ruled the NFL legitimately colluded against its players to depress guaranteed money. That's where we're at right now.
Yeah. So let's add on to that, Austin. Here's where we're at. It's out. There's been documentation, rulings, all of that, and it has been exposed. The what is it? The table, you know, where the person tries to pull all the stuff from the table with the tablecloth. Yeah. All the stuff came off for the NFL, unfortunately.
You've ever been able to pull that off?
No.
I never.
I haven't been that good at it. But nonetheless, Austin, here's the thing. Now that's happened, there's players that have the potential option of exploring getting involved in taking a grievance on how this could have affected their deal, their timing, you know, things that were suppressed, and, you know, who got the deals and how it hurt them. There's potential grievance out there. There's some hidden names that are out there as well. Fill us in on this particular situation. Let our listeners really get a deeper understanding as to what that, because that's what we do on the block. We'll lay it out for you.
So let's just go to the lawsuit that was filed in the ruling from the judge. So that's what I'll be reading from here for just a second. So from this lawsuit, when the NFLPA commenced the system arbitration in October of 22, it alleged that the NFL entered into a collusive agreement with its member clubs to, quote, restrict or limit fully guaranteed player contracts, end quote. The alleged purpose of the NFL's agreement with the clubs was to thwart market competition from running its course and to prevent them from following the precedent set by quarterback Deshaun Watson's 5-year, fully guaranteed $230 million player contract signed with the Cleveland Browns in March of 2022. The NFLPA alleged that the collusive agreement of the NFL precluded 3 other quarterbacks, Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, and Kyler Murray, from obtaining fully guaranteed contracts after the Watson contract. At the time of the filing of the grievance, the NFLPA's collusion allegations focused on circumstances surrounding an NFL owners meeting in August of 2022. The NFLPA alleged that prior to that meeting, a high-ranking executive in the league office asked an NFL owner to initiate a discussion with the other owners about not agreeing to large player contracts with fully guaranteed salaries like Mr. Watson's, and that this topic was discussed during the owners' meeting. A lot of owners, a lot of general managers testified to this.
That's the thing. So there was some internal whistleblowing, trying to indemnify themselves by sharing what transpired within that. Yeah.
Some of the owners being named: Robert Kraft.
We knew he was in there. Why? We got a lot of gates that happen. Robert Kraft.
That part.
See, so while you're going to break that up, that's the one thing that I also wanted to say. What we're seeing in this particular situation, Austin, this is really a first time at this level, especially for the NFL, where we're seeing this type of, I will say, I think we've seen it probably in baseball, but where we've really seen it in football to this level of collusion, that's a wild situation in itself. To normally it's a tight-knit group, tight-lipped group. They kind of keep things internal. But I think a lot of things have started to get exposed. Right. There you go. See, so technology has also brought itself. Go ahead. Keep going.
That's been a big piece of this suit, is that the NFLPA, you know, in the discovery portion of this, found text between dozens of owners and GMs about depressing these salaries, about not offering the fully guaranteed money. I mean, the Ravens GM was named. I think that's maybe the most interesting name in this conversation, Strick, is, I mean, Deshaun Watson, okay, whatever. Cleveland did something rash. Whatever, it's Cleveland. But Baltimore's been...
Do you think they got a call?
I almost guarantee they did.
Like,
I know there were 10.
What are you doing?
Oh, yeah. They got 31 calls, maybe 40 calls.
Yeah.
Every other owner was probably saying, what the heck
are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roger Goodell. It was named in this lawsuit a couple different times.
Pause. Sorry. Here's why I say that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it in the water of Ohio? Because now we know the NBA has been exposed because of what early on in Cleveland, how they had to address the basketball situation for what they were doing and suppressing.
And Stepien.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it in the water?
Must be.
It's crazy that now we're looking at
Cincinnati's not paying.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me. Keep going,
crazy.
man. This is crazy.
So what this lawsuit found, as best I understand it, is Roger Goodell was involved in these conversations, but Roger Goodell never went to an owner and said, have this conversation with the other owner.
Yeah.
He knew this was going on and didn't stop it, but also didn't necessarily aid and abet it. I think like the NFLPA was talking about. I think the swing guy in this, though, Strick, I mean, you think about Russell Wilson. Okay, tail end of his career, maybe could have gotten more guaranteed money. Sorry, Russ, your time's kind of passed. Kyler Murray, been maybe a little disappointing.
A little early in the
Hasn't
game.
lived up, right, to all the expectations for his
Understandably
draft
so.
spot. Okay, sorry, Kyler, but we understand why teams don't want to give you that
But-
guaranteed money. Then you get Lamar Jackson. MVP, stud, game changer,
Yeah.
franchise icon, who, let's not forget, represented himself in these discussions. Didn't want to pay an agent, didn't have anyone there, going to bat for him besides himself, really, in these conversations. And throughout the course of this lawsuit, you find that Lamar Jackson was texting and asking for a fully guaranteed contract, which you can understand if you're Lamar Jackson.
Looking at
If that guy got one,
I
gotta
better get one. Facts.
Saying that, Lamar Jackson said the microphone on his phone didn't work throughout this. I don't know why he couldn't just get a new phone, but whatever. Okay, that's kind of besides the point. Only a couple teams expressed interest in trading for him. Really? Really? And no team reached out directly to Lamar Jackson to inquire about him in free agency. Really? Teams didn't reach out directly to Lamar Jackson, who's representing himself for his services in free agency? Really? They didn't want that guy? There were only a couple teams who were maybe interested in trading for MVP, franchise icon,
Right.
general good dude, Lamar Jackson?
Stop it.
Really? Which again brings me back to I wonder if the Colts were one of those teams. I was interested in Lamar for the Colts. But again, that's the point, but also not the point. We have evidence that NFL owners said we can't be giving out guaranteed money. Cleveland, you screwed us over by doing this. This is where we come together and agree to stop it. Now, of course, Strick, the PA for the NFL has long been pushing for more guaranteed contracts, right? They want fully guaranteed, probably never going to happen unless they give up some major concessions, like probably 20 games is what it would take to get them fully guaranteed contracts. But okay, you get some partial guarantees, you get bonuses and whatnot for NFL players. But it just leaves you wonder if you are Russell Wilson, if you are Kyler Murray, or what's coming next. There were 594 players who were named in this lawsuit. It's on a different page that hasn't been released to the public yet. But 594 veteran players, not just like rookies signing deals, but veteran players who the NFLPA says these players have a case to take against the NFL for limiting their amount of guaranteed money. We might have just seen the first domino. There might be 594 more to fall.
Well, there's somebody that's potentially out of California, Chargers quarterback, who was also kind of around this same time frame. Justin Herbert was somebody that definitely may find themselves potentially or allegedly in the grievance column as well. Would you agree?
I would agree. So from the NBC Sports article about this, Justin Herbert is the name that comes to mind. Signed his mega extension, deservedly so, in my opinion. I'm a Justin Herbert fan. I think he's a good quarterback. not long after Kyler Murray, about a year after Kyler Murray ended up signing his deal. And there are some texts that were entered into the record between Cardinals ownership and Chargers ownership. Here are the texts, Ricky. So Dean Spanos of the Chargers texts Michael Bidwell, owner of the Cardinals, congratulations on signing Murray. Bidwell replies, says, thanks, Dino. These QB deals are expensive, but we limited the fully guaranteed money and have some pretty good language. Thankfully, we have a QB that's worth paying. Dean Spanos replies, your deal helps us for our QB next year. Bidwell, final reply, I think many teams will be happy with it once they have a chance to review. Cleveland really screwed things up, but I was resolved to keep the guaranteed relatively low.
Wow.
Explicitly naming Kyler Murray, you know exactly who they're talking about, and explicitly naming our QB next year, Justin Herbert. Man.
Oof.
If Justin Herbert says, I'm suing my owner and I'm suing the NFL for collusion, now the man's getting plenty of money. Don't get me wrong. But Strick, you know, as a former athlete, money is great. Guaranteed money, next level.
So, you know, when you look at the comparisons of this, is this something that you can look, Austin, at like what Ed O'Bannon did with the NCAA? You know, what type of time frame? What type of energy between the player and the owner, if they do jump in, like what does that do to the team dynamic? Like, what are some of these things that could possibly pan out when you're thinking about if you want to jump into this law? Because here's what they do in lawsuits. Like, right, you see 590 names, they'll reach out. There's going to be a law group that's going to represent the totality of it all.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to reach out. They're going to send you. Do you want to be involved? Everybody in that's listening probably have gotten some from some corporation or some store or
like the
some airline.
Class action
right?
sort of thing.
Yeah. Does it look something like that where there's probably an option to opt out, or if you're a player, you know, do you try to cut something sideline with the owner? Is this a type of situation like Joe Smith type of situation where Minnesota got caught trying to work a deal underground, under the table, like what do you think?
I think there's a lot of different ways it could go. I think the NFL did a pretty darn good job of burying this ruling for a while until shout out Pablo Torre, the one that found it for his show. They didn't want this to be found, and you understand why. So the crime is pretty bad. The cover-up might be worse because you're trying to cover up collusion. You're colluding about collusion. It's double jeopardy, which I know you can't get charged for. I get that bad wording, but you know what I mean? The cover-up and the crime are both bad.
And it's potential heavy. Yeah.
Big time.
I mean, in the billions.
Billions.
And I'm not talking the small B's.
No.
Like, I mean,
capital.
Yes. Like, you've got to say it's got to be in the range of hundreds of billions because of what these contracts are.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're talking about even if it was only 300 or 200 players, you've got to be looking.
That's still double-digit millions,
right?
I mean, probably per player in some
cases.
cases.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's a heavy price tag that you're how does something like that, if it comes down, is the NFL at a place where, with their TV contracts and with their, just fan base, is this something that could hinder, or does it taint the prospectus of what the NFL is, the brand, the shield, always protect the shield? What's your thought on that part?
It definitely could. It feels like Roger Goodell has been kind of out of the spotlight for negative stuff for a while, generally speaking. I mean, he had that atrociously bad run with the, replacement referees, the Fail Mary between the Seahawks and the Packers. Obviously, the Ray Rice situation and how the NFL handled or didn't handle that. Obviously, Roger Goodell's still getting booed when he goes to the podium. I think NFL fans have gotten to the point of accepting, that's just who this guy is. He's not going anywhere since the owners seem to like him. I don't know how much public trust this will actually erode in the NFL. And I think there's a good text on our text line to illustrate that, Strick. Husker Stu says, I just feel so bad for these athletes nowadays with the money they make, especially after I just got done working 8 hours today outside for $30 an hour. Give me a break. I know that not everyone's going to care about this. I know that, millions and billions for NFL owners and players is different, right? For them compared to, like Husker Stu, right? Working outside for 8 hours and making, $30 an hour, right? It's not the same playing field. But number one, it's these guys' career. Would you, Husker Stu, like to have made, $45 an hour, but your boss and the boss at another company said, you know what, we're going to be able to keep wages down. We'll keep them down if you keep them down. No, it's not the same raw dollars and cents, but try to put yourself in those shoes, right? Take the money part out of it.
Yeah.
But these people,
or the level of the money.
Level, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
These people's bosses worked together to hold them down. Again, it's all relative. It's hard to take the money out of the equation, but NFL owners said, we want to protect our backside and we want to keep our money in our pockets, and we think we can get away with it. That's the premise, more so than the money itself, I think, in some cases. So, no, I don't think it's going to do that much damage to the NFL. I think that's going to be a short-term PR hit. I don't think the NFL is going to lose popularity because, Rick, I think people just want to sit down and watch the games. They want to root for their teams. They want to kick their feet up on the recliner on Sunday afternoon, Sunday evenings, enjoy their football. It's still the most popular league in America. It's a horrible look, but it's one that I think, money can make problems disappear. I don't think people are going to say, get rid of the owners. Oh, they're such a crappy group of people. We need 32 new NFL owners, 31, I guess.
Yeah, this is not like a Sterling situation or nothing like that.
You can pay the money. Yeah. You're not going to want to. You tried to keep the money. You didn't pay it up front. You just got to pay it back with maybe some restitution later, and then we'll all forget about it. But I think the NFL is going to get watched a little closer from now on. I'm not talking about the games. I'm talking about that behind-the-scenes business. There's going to be a lot more poking and prodding at the NFL that I think the league got really comfortable not having for a while.
Yeah. I think that's a great point. It's going to be interesting to see what the fallout's going to be here in this particular situation. How many players decide to get involved? Then to the level. Go ahead.
And that's the last part. I'm glad you brought that up because the NFLPA might not necessarily be safe either. Because as much as players are going to sue the NFL, this NBC article brings up a good point, Strick. If the NFLPA allowed this to happen and they just said, oh, sorry, you cheated 3 of our guys and you only went to bat for those 3, not the other 594, NBC and their writers seem to think that those 594 players could go after the union that they signed up to be a part of for not doing more to defend them. And I think that would be more damaging for the NFLPA than it would be for the NFL if that's the route these players decide to take.
Well, there it is. Great breakdown. If you have any thoughts on the discussion, 402-464-5685. Well done, Austin. Great breakdown, great find there. I think that's going to be an interesting thing to watch. Is this lastly, is this one of those things? It can't be swept under the rug now. It's going to be out. But I think if you're the NFL, like you want to try to rectify it, do the right thing by it, not too much address it in the public square so that it's like a fire. You don't give too much oxygen to it and hope that it just passes over. But it's going to leave a bad taste in some people's mouth. Pause. So yeah, that part. We're going to get out of here, take another break. We'll come back and continue the conversation. And we'll talk a little bit about what CFB, college football team, fan base is feeling like they're getting their arms ringed or they're in the torture chamber. We'll be right back right here on The Block, 93.7 The Ticket.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese, with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to The Mercado today for the best meat in town.
At Cordell & Cordell, we focus on representing men in domestic relations cases.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
We recognize that our clients are going through perhaps the toughest time they will ever go through. We understand that everything that's important to them is on the table. Their assets, the role in their children's lives. That's an immense responsibility that our clients entrust us with, and we take that very seriously. We've been trained to do that. We've helped thousands of clients before, and it's our hope that you'll choose to entrust us with what's most important to you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 402-858-3220. That's 402-858-3220. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln, 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508.
I tried to hide my cigarette smoking. Then I was rushed into emergency surgery to repair the damage smoking did to my heart. It shocked everyone because they thought I was healthy. Yet because I smoked, I had a severe heart condition that nearly killed me. My tip is, you may be able to hide your smoking from the world, but you can't hide from the damage smoking does to your body.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
I want to ride. Do you want to ride? June is officially riding month at Rod's Power Sports, Nebraska's largest volume Honda Power Sports dealership. Come in now and take advantage of huge savings and a great inventory selection during Rod's I Want to Ride celebration days all month long. Simply schedule a qualified demo ride on one of their new Honda motorcycles, ATVs, scooters, or side-by-sides, or purchase a new or used vehicle, and you get a free custom I Want to Ride t-shirt. Plus, all month long, they have 10% discounts on all wearables, parts, accessories, and oil change kits when purchased with a new or used Honda. Free refreshments served each Saturday morning in June. Just show up and say, I want to ride, and they'll fix you up with some free stuff and help you pick out that new ride. Come ride with Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln or online at rodspowersports.com. For your safety, read the owner's manual and always wear a helmet and eye protection. Honda Power Sports vehicles are for riders 16 years and older. Honda recommends that all ATV riders take a training course.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly sunny, breezy, and hot with a high near 93. Tonight, showers and storms likely with a low near 72. And tomorrow, a continued chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly sunny with a light breeze and a high near 89. And meteorologist Kyle Electric for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Don't wait for Lincoln's fireworks stands to open up. Get the good stuff at Roca Crazy Cracker in downtown Roca. Stop in from June 25th through July 4th for the hot spot for rockets and more this Independence Day. Open 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. It's Roca Crazy Cracker Fireworks in downtown Roca.
Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation has provided lawn sprinkler system design, installation, repair, and service to 4 generations. They're just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Rolling right along, hour 2 of On the Block. Strick and Austin with you. This segment brought to you by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Appreciate Gary, his crew, his family for sponsoring this segment. They're based in Hallam, Nebraska. They offer a free estimate, full window replacement, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty on everything while keeping their prices affordable. Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. You can give Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today for more info at 402-430-3852, or you can visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Was reading on The Athletic today, Strick, and Stuart Mandel, one of their lead writers, and maybe not an editor, maybe I forget his exact position. Either way, pretty big wig there at The Athletic. Stuart Mandel was writing, and he got a question about the College World Series, right? Another gut punch loss for Arkansas was the question that was submitted. And so this writer, this person from Dallas said, who is the current most tortured college football fan base that keeps suffering wrenching losses while their rivals have success? So Stuart Mandel first brought up the play that wasn't the non-double play from Arkansas, and said maybe the closest equivalent to that in his mind was the Michigan punter dropping the snap against Michigan State, which was somehow a decade ago already. But then his next paragraph after that reads as such: Nebraska fans have got to be the most tortured. Not because the Huskers keep coming close, but because they keep staying mediocre, no matter how many promising, exciting hires and recruits come their way. You agree, you disagree?
Yeah. I was I was out there and I was talking like to Mike Mamula, who played, where Mike played, I think in Philly, older player. And, because we were talking about Nebraska and we're talking about just some of the history.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to a couple of people about that, and I just happened to say, I said, I told them about brand complacency. I said we've kind of been stuck in this rut because there was an unwillingness to do what they did to emerge as one of the cutting edge universities in the sport. The way that they did it before is, the weight program and the facilities and the staff, and they stuck together, and there was just so many things that made it great. I think we're on the cusp of a shift, though. I think this new legislative ruling gives Nebraska another placing there, and this is why I think we're gonna hopefully see some changes. Landing Dillon was huge. They stepped out there on a couple of situations. It seems as if they're figuring out a different recipe now. Some would say Iowa State is poaching. They're taking some, a good shift of Nebraska players and taking them on over there. They've raised their level. They're not just a stepping stone of Iowa anymore. They're giving Iowa some business now.
Mm-hmm.
So when I look at like Nebraska now, I think this situation is going to help them. I think that's one thing that they're pretty good at is being frugal about how they distribute and what they do. They've been frugal there, and we'll just see now if their staff of finding talent, acquiring talent, holding talent is going to hold up. That's probably the next step of where they are.
I can agree that Nebraska fans are tortured, but maybe not for the reason that Stuart Mandel says. If you're going to tell me that Nebraska fans are tortured, you would have to be the turnovers and the one-score losses. You know, that Nebraska can say that they're in pretty much every game that they play, and they're just not able to seal the deal. That's the rationale that I would have gone with. And that's painful, but I don't know if that's necessarily torturous. I think that the two that Stuart Mandel throws out after Nebraska actually have maybe a better case than Husker fans do for being the most tortured fan base. Because again, Stuart Mandel's rationale in Nebraska, he says, not because the Huskers keep coming close, but because they keep staying mediocre, no matter how many promising, exciting hires and recruits come their way. That's just called life. That's just called not every team lives up to its promise every year. And yes, it's been a repeated cycle for Nebraska. And I'm not saying it's not painful for fans, but Nebraska fans have always had the same expectations. It's this year. This year's our year. Sometimes they have evidence that they think backs it up. Sometimes they're just saying it because it's what they have to say. You know, where's the actual legitimate, tangible evidence that Nebraska deserves to be in college football playoff dark horse conversation? They haven't shown you anything. They haven't. So if you choose to believe that, and that's where your head is, you're doing that to yourself. That's not the fan. That's the fans' fault for torturing themselves more so than it is the team who's only working with what they got. And again, yes, I think we'd all like Nebraska to be better, but in terms of actual on-field results, I think that you should have gone with the turnovers or the one-score losses for explaining why Nebraska was more tortured. And that's why, Strick, I will throw Penn State kind of in that Arkansas baseball conversation in terms of being tortured. Penn State's winning 10, 11 games every year with nothing to show for it. Yeah, they made the college football playoff, made the semis, couldn't get past Notre Dame.
Pause. Go. Just put a pin in it. Keep going.
Beat everyone on their schedule except for Ohio State and sometimes Michigan. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride for Penn State.
Yeah.
That's got to get old. Now, it's maybe less torturous because you're at least winning double-digit games every year. You're in the top 10. You're in legitimate national championship conversations. But there's a difference between Nebraska hoping to be in those conversations, hoping to get to the college football playoff as a fan base, and Penn State fans who find themselves in that conversation, in that discussion every year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially in the 4-team era when Penn State would be in the top 5,
until
top 6, until they play Ohio State, until they play Michigan,
right?
And they Penn State it, right? Penn State's in the same boat as old Clemson, right? You hear about Clemsoning all the time. Who's Clemson going to lose to trick it off?
Yeah.
That's kind of where Penn State is right now. And that, to me, is a different kind of torture because you're there. You can taste it. Nebraska can't taste it right now.
Yeah.
They're not that close.
They can't smell it.
They barely smell it. I'll give them credit for maybe they smell it wafting out the window. But Penn State is sitting down at the table ready to eat with the steak dinner in front of it, and someone says, oh, just kidding, wrong plate. Here's your Salisbury steak. That's where Penn State is.
Not the Mercado steak.
No,
you get
not
the
Mercado steak,
basic flank steak, that little, the little ones that you get at some of like Waffle House or something.
Right.
Yeah, you get that steak.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild. So I put the pin in it. So would you say Notre Dame fits that bill, even though they got there last year? Because they've gotten there before. They've kind of, and then, they fought. Is Notre Dame in that, or do you feel that they've kind of broke through now?
Notre Dame's in between Nebraska and Penn State, right? I think the outside expectations for Notre Dame, oh, they're overrated. Oh, they never finished that high. Well, actually, if you go back and you look at the numbers, Notre Dame's pretty much lived up to preseason expectations every year. We're not drastically overrating Notre Dame, maybe like their egos are. So, I mean, Notre Dame hasn't been as close to the level of success as Penn State has on the whole, I would say, in the college football playoff era. Of course, you have to throw out that Notre Dame actually did, make the 14 playoff a couple times and got absolutely embarrassed in those showings. They did just make the national championship game last year before losing to Ohio State. So maybe they're closer to the Penn State end of things, but it's hard for me to feel sympathy for Notre Dame.
I've got 2 for you.
Hit me. I'm at 7. Hit me.
USC and Oregon, now in the Big Ten, do they fit in that category? I would probably say Oregon more than USC, because Oregon, their expectations are always up there, but it's like when they get up against the horses, it's like all that speed, I'm trying to think of a comparison of what I could compare it to. All that speed, all that athleticism, all that gear, all of that, none of that means or matters anything because they haven't been able to jump the broom and be the like you said, the groom or the wife.
Yeah, no, I think USC's in the Nebraska boat. A lot of promise, a lot of hype, falling short. Now, to be fair, USC has made some New Year's bowls semi-recently, right? They did lose to Tulane in there. But USC hasn't achieved to the level that people think they should. That's a Nebraska one. Oregon's in that Penn State conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And Husker fans might take some umbrage with this. I know that Dan Lanning is not Tom Osborne. Neither is Chip Kelly, right? They don't hold a candle to the man. I get it. But is Oregon in that same position that Nebraska was, right? Always in the conversation. You got resources. You have an advantage that you're using to your advantage. You just can't get it done in the biggest moments, right? Think about, 83 falling short. How long it took Tom Osborne to win a national championship game. What is Oregon known for? Strict speed or power?
Speed.
What was Nebraska known for?
Power.
Speed. Option. Until there's a run game, right?
Yeah.
But Nebraska is known for power, had to get fast. Oregon's known for speed, has to get more power.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Kind
of fun house mirror images of each other in that way. I want to hit the text line here. 1927 says counterpoint, 1-score losses are torturous. Yes, I'm not saying they're not. But if Nebraska is 500 in 1-score games, that means Nebraska is closer to 500 overall over the last decade, not Nebraska's playing for national championships. Old Dad 34, Austin, it's been 20 years since Nebraska's been relevant. You sound like you're okay with that. No, I'd like Nebraska to be good. It's a lot more fun to root for a team that's good, to follow them. There's excitement, their buzz. Absolutely. I'm not rooting for Nebraska to be bad. I'm not rooting for Nebraska to stay irrelevant. Please make our lives easier and win some football games. We are here for it. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to get in here and say, oh, I've seen so many signs that says Nebraska is going to win 9 or 10 games this year and they're going to be in the college football playoff conversation. I'm not going to say that till they prove it. It's the same thing you and I said all basketball season, Strick. We said Nebraska was going to be an NCAA tournament bubble team, probably NIT. We said that on record. We hoped. Would have been cool to see him go to back-to-back NCAA tournaments. Shout out to Fred Hoiberg, Connor Estigian, for speaking to the media today, by the way. Appreciated hearing from those gentlemen. But I am not going to fall into that trap again. I will root for them. I want to see them succeed for a number of reasons. Absolutely, I do. But I'm not going to consider it Nebraska is torturing me when I put expectations on them that they can't live up to. Because I know what my eyes see. I know what my ears hear. And I like to think I can think critically about it, looking outside of the Nebraska bubble. So I'm not saying Husker fans haven't experienced pain. I'm not saying, I want Nebraska to be irrelevant the whole time. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I want at all. But I'm not putting myself in the boat of believing something that I can't see until they do it. I don't think that program has earned that benefit of the doubt from me yet, Strick. And that's where I think this fan base is the most tortured, is that it's hoping on something that is factually not there. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. Do you throw Texas A&M in that group?
Funny you bring A&M up. That's the team that Mandel says is the most tortured.
Mm-hmm.
Here's why. Kevin Sumlin, Johnny Manziel think that, they have fans thinking, oh yeah, we're gonna run the SEC, but then they fall into the Bo Pelini trap. They're 8-5, 9-3 every year. You get Jimbo Fisher. It's our year, national champion. And Jimbo spends a lot of money for zero return on investment. A&M is in the SEC, right? They kept Texas out. A&M made that jump. Texas didn't. Texas wants to jump in. A&M's fighting it. Big brother says, nope, we're here. You get to deal with it. That's got to be painful for A&M fans.
What about Oklahoma?
A&M.
You're still with A&M?
A&M.
Oh, shoot.
A&M plays Texas for the for the first game in 13 years with a chance to reach its first ever SEC championship game, lose 17-7, end the season on a 3-game losing streak, and finish the year unranked, despite all that promise, right? You're right there. You can taste the 12-team playoff. You can taste playing for an SEC championship. Oh, and by the way, let's not forget A&M baseball, preseason number 1, misses the gosh dang College World Series of regionals.
Yeah.
Texas A&M softball, number 1 overall seed, they don't make it out of their regional. That's pretty torture.
Wow.
That's we can taste it.
Yeah.
And we didn't do it. Yeah. And you have the rivalry aspect. I think A&M's more tortured than Nebraska. Let's not forget the Nebraska tie there.
There's a Fat Albert down there.
Hey, it's Trev Alberts. Dang.
Good stuff.
Let's take our final break of the show. We'll wrap up On the Block after this.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
I want to ride. Do you want to ride? June is officially riding month at Rod's Power Sports, Nebraska's largest volume Honda Power Sports dealership. Come in now and take advantage of huge savings and a great inventory selection during Rod's I Want to Ride celebration days all month long. Simply schedule a qualified demo ride on one of their new Honda motorcycles, ATVs, scooters, or side-by-sides, or purchase a new or used vehicle, and you get a free custom I Want to Ride t-shirt. Plus, all month long, they have 10% discounts on all wearables, parts, accessories, and oil change kits when purchased with a new or used Honda. Free refreshments served each Saturday morning in June. Just show up and say, I want to ride, and they'll fix you up with some free stuff and help you pick out that new ride. Come ride with Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln or online at rodspowersports.com. For your safety, read the owner's manual and always wear a helmet and eye protection. Honda Power Sports vehicles are for riders 16 years and older. Honda recommends that all ATV riders take a training course.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, where your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly sunny, breezy, and hot with a high near 93. Tonight, showers and storms likely with a low near 72. And tomorrow, a continued chance of showers and storms, otherwise partly sunny with a light breeze and a high near 89. And meteorologist Kyle Flecker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Husker fans, the 2025 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need your support in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $185. This plan includes a ticket to USC plus Akron or Houston Christian and either Michigan State, Northwestern, or Iowa. Tickets are only available while supplies last. Purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
One final segment here for On the Block. Austin and Strick with you. This final segment brought to you by Love Volleyball Omaha. Get your season tickets for the first time or renew them online, lovboma.com. A couple things to get to in Husker land. The Nebraska volleyball team has named its representatives for the Huskers at the Big Ten Media Days. Obviously, head coach Danny Busboom Kelly will be going. She'll be joined by Harper Murray and Rebecca Alec. That makes a lot of sense, I think, for that program. Excited to hear what they have to say about their season coming up at the end of July in Chicago. Strick, I got a chance to hear it from, like I said, Connor Sejan and Fred Hoiberg today for the Nebraska men's basketball team. A lot of really interesting stuff from both those guys. I hope we can get the audio and we can get to more of it on tomorrow's show. One of the things that stood out to me, Fred Hoiberg repeated something that you and I have mentioned, that he's mentioned throughout this offseason as well, is he really likes the spacing for this team. He says there's a lot of guys that have some good-looking shots. Results are coming for some guys, a couple things to work through with some others. But I think it was interesting to pick Fred Hoiberg's brain on that. I asked him about, how having more good shooters on the roster could maybe take some pressure off of Connor Sejan, right? To not be the one guy whose reputation it was to shoot it well. Obviously, Bryce Williams too, but he got different sorts of looks. And Fred Hoiberg said, yeah, that makes sense. But the way he took that answer, Strick, I think was really informative about what Fred Hoiberg is looking for from this team. Is in the Fred Hoiberg system, you've emphasized the importance of the motion, the constant player movement, and the drive and kick. And Fred Hoiberg said, obviously he's excited about shooting because 3 points are fun to put on the board.
Yeah.
But also that more so than maybe helping Connor Sejan, maybe take some pressure off of him, Fred Hoiberg is excited for his slashers because the gravity of having more shooters on the roster, the further the floor is spread. Fred Hoiberg said he thinks guys are going to shoot better just because you got to account for all five, because they'll have an easier time, getting dribble penetration when there's not a guy that's planted in the gap or not a guy planted in the middle of the court. So I'm really curious to see what that does for Demarcus Lawrence, who can shoot it, but I think has a pretty good first step. For Sam Hoiberg, who's done a good job getting into the paint, but has problems when he runs into traffic. And even a guy like Kendall Blue, who Fred Hoiberg said has been taking some reps at the point guard position.
Yeah, I think, it's just knowing you've got those type of shooters. Again, their style of play is gonna require them to definitely make sure that they're fundamentally sound, setting good screens, doing a lot of things of that nature, getting guys open but being able to knock shots down, when it matters. So that's going to be an important thing as well. So, we'll see if they're able to, complete the task and how those guys are going to measure up when it's time to make it happen.
Another guy Fred Hoiberg was asked about here in our last couple of minutes of the show, obviously Bear Cable Eutengel. Fred Hoiberg said he was really impressed with how Bear K came back into shape. Looked like he was in the gym, was in the lab, working on his body to get in better shape. Reiterated again just how big of a bummer it was that the Bear K went down with the ankle injury after his best game at Nebraska at the end of Ohio State. But the interesting part, I think, about what Fred Hoiberg said about Bear K Eutengel, Strick, was Fred Hoiberg described Bear K as a guy that sees everything and hears everything on social media. Fred Hoiberg said when he started playing better, it's when he deleted the app, was on his phone less. And Fred Hoiberg says, I got to stop getting Bear K Eutengel to see or hear everything, referring to both of the positives and the negatives of things. And I think that kind of fits us to what we were seeing, right? Bear K's a fan favorite, right? With his energy, his hustle, got credit again for being a good defender, according to the internal metrics that Nebraska has. But it's going to be really important for Bear K Eutengel to make sure his head is screwed on straight, and that whether he's playing 15 minutes a game or 25 minutes a game, that those are good, solid, consistent minutes for Nebraska, maybe not as much dictated by the emotions or the whims of the day on social media.
Yeah. He's really got to, I think he's got to watch some film. I think it would be beneficial to him to watch somebody that has a similar style and really figure out. And one of the things that we talked about too, Austin, in our time is just the inconsistencies. There's times where he fall back on his shot.
Mm-hmm.
There's time when he shoots it leaning. Then he does, not straight up the flat. Yeah, there's so many different things that he does. I think he just needs to have some consistency in specific areas, and just really hone and focus in on the things he does well and do those things and do them well.
We'll have to see. Fred Hoiberg did say Bear K was shooting it pretty well again, but I do like this trick. Fred said, doesn't matter until you get between the lines. Heard all last year. Bear K was stroking it in practice.
Yeah.
It never translated to game. So we'll have to wait and see on that. NBA draft coming up here in just a couple hours. We will certainly be monitoring that, talking about that tomorrow on the show. Probably some more Nebraska men's basketball talk. And, of course, Thirsty Thursday. Look forward to all that and more during On the Block from 3 to 5 tomorrow. As always, brought to you by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. We're stepping out of the way. Jay Foreman stepping in. Old School with Foreman and Norman is next.
Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson